Alright, so I'm going to record this. I'm actually going to, so we're on a little low-key late night session here. It is pretty deep. It is, what time is it right now? Golly, it's 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's pretty early for the vamp. So I'm just decided to pop on real quick. I've been doing one-on-one sessions all night, just getting everybody's charts set up, making I did a bunch of one-on-one sessions with members. So here's kind of what I see is going on. So on the higher time frames, we have a very bearish setup with these two tweezer tops on the weekly. This is also on the 3-day, so you can see both. This is on the 3-day right here, and it's on the weekly. So I'm going to bring the 3-day up. There's 3-day. So you've got the tweezer tops on the 3-day right here. We've also got the tweezer tops on the weekly. So this is something to watch out for right here. Okay. This is bearish. I've got a chart, so I actually brought up a couple different tweezer top charts that I show. Here you go. You can see that this is on an uptrend, the tweezers, and then it goes down. Now, how substantially down does it go? You know, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see where this goes right here. Yeah, you see, we've got a little bit of play. Now, this is, when you look at this, this is actually a red 9. Oh, Jesus. My phone's going off. Hold on. So this is a red 9 right here. So you see that we have a imperfected 9 right here. So that's what happens when it's higher. A perfected 9 would be lower down here. Now, as you go down in your time frames here, you can see the daily doesn't help us with a turnaround. 12-hour doesn't help us with a turnaround. 6-hour does. So here you go at the 6-hour. So we do have a perfected 9 on the 6-hour. What I'm looking at, though, is it's being held down by these death crosses. So look, you had 1, 2, 3. This is kind of an inverted hammer right here. So you do have another death cross that's forming right here. So we're watching this all kind of play out as it does. Let me get rid of this. This is an imperfected, this is a perfected 9. So I was expecting to see more of a bounce, but these death crosses are holding it down. You know, now this can bleed out some more. Your next support levels, you've actually got a couple support levels. You got 6,200 is a really good support level, just right in here. So you get 6,200 as a support level. Below that, I mean, really, I would look down here into this range, even the 6,000 range. I think we have some support down here at 6,000 and change. Gonna move that up. There it is right there. So I'd say you have a lot of support right here at this level. I'll squeeze this line right up there. There we go. Got support there, and I like the support that's right around the it's right around the 6,200 range, right in there. I kind of like this little area for support right here. So if we do fall down, I mean this could be a peg and a little bit of bounce, but we have 3 hours and 30 minutes before we close this. This bearish candle out. Now, can this get up over this? Oh yeah, lots of time, lots of time. Let's pull this down to the 4-hour chart. You know, just a lot of viciousness. You know, so we did, this is an imperfected 9 on this chart right here. So this is an imperfected 9. This also was a hanging man. So this should have been a much more bearish candle. It's trying to take off. You did have the death cross. If this does fall out here, you would possibly get another death cross between the 30 and the 50. These two cross over again. This is a pretty solid death cross. This is a pretty vicious one when you've got the 7 crossing over the 200. So you see the 200 actually has lots of support and resistance on it. I'm sorry, this is the 100. The purple line is the 100. This has a lot of support and resistance. So I'm watching that. And let's go all the way down to the 2 hour here. The 2 hour chart, I see a rising wedge. This is just showing me a rising wedge. Lots of, I mean, these are quasi bullish candles right here. These are super bullish candles, you know. These should be, now I would like to see these at the bottom of a trend and not up here. So but these are quasi bearish, bullish. Now this is the, what do we got? Do we even have the 200 day on here? I don't even see it. Let's see here. Give me a second. This should be red. There we go. So we are below the 200 day on the 2 hour. We did have a death cross between the 200 and the 7 MA, and we've got a lot of, you know, this, if this breaks through, there's room to run here. Let me bring up, where is my other chart here? So let me push this back down. No, I don't like this one. Let me get that chart off there. So I'm put this back down in play. I'm going to bring this back up to the weekly. Try to keep my charts in place for everybody so they can see what's going on here. All right, so there we go. Okay, now let's go over, and where is my, I think this is it. Yep, okay. So here's my my chart with my, I've got the scalper on this one, so I'm using the until 1 mil scalper. This is something I really wanted to point out to everybody. So here is, I'm going to pull off all this stuff. So this is something, here's the 3 day right here. So the scalper works on the 3 day, works on the 1 hour, 6 hour, the 3 day chart. So here you have perfect long setup, also called by the TD. Now the short was called by the scalper. This is the until 1 million's B scalper. The long was called by the scalper, also called by the TD. You got up here, the short was called a little bit early. It was called perfectly by the TD9. And now we've dropped down to the bottom. We never saw our 9 on the 3 day here. We got up here, we did see a very bearish candle, spinning top, bearish candle, spinning top. When they're at the top of a trend, they are trend reversals. So then we did get this trend reversal on the 3 day. And what I've been looking for to go long here is a long signal, right? So the indicator called this out just perfectly the last couple times. I mean, this is a little suspect here. I would have probably had to see, if I would have got into this trade as a short here, I probably would have had to use my stop loss right here on this top of this candle on the 3 day. That's where I probably would have had to set my stop loss. So here we are. We're being supported by the 7 MA on the 3 day, and we're being held down by the 7 MA on the weekly candle. So here's those tweezer tops again, but I wanted to go back to 6 hour, and still haven't got a long trade. Here's the scalper. The scalper called the short perfect, called the long perfect, called the scalp perfect, called this long perfect. So now this, it never called the short here, and it has not called a long here. So I'm just kind of chilling in my shorts still. Still got my short trades open. And yeah, I'm just waiting it out. I'm waiting out this 12-hour death cross or whatever the hell it is. This thing is super, super frustrating right now, simply because it has crossed on a few exchanges, and on a few exchanges it has not. So, which is just completely bizarre to me. Usually it's just, I see the commitment on all of the exchanges equally. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this, so this does have me kind of left in a pickle. All right, so I'm just going to leave this chart down in the 4 hour right here, or the 6 hour. Let's bring this up. And okay, so this was on, sorry, this is on a 4 hour chart, so I'm going to put this back on my 4 hour chart. Here we go. Drop this baby back down there. There we are. So this is, you know, I'm watching this right now. Let me scoot this down here. There we go. So once again, you have an imperfected 9 just chilling out right there. You know, the bubble charts, this particular chart right here of my bubble charts, I did change, so I said, hey, there's no support that was up there. I just changed this on this new chart, and sure enough, there's just no support. I am looking for this to get down into the purple bubble range. This is where my bounces are. I'm not exactly feeling any bounces right in here. We are kind of close. I mean, all these are drops, though. I don't see any of these as ups, so I am looking to get, you know, anywhere from in this range on down before I see a real substantial bounce. You know, our RSI is kind of telling us, hey, the RSI did bounce right here, so we did get a bounce on the RSI. You know, this RSI area has had, look, this, so you got this blue line right here. Boom, boom. It's got plenty of confluence on this line. So the bubble chart did work. And, you know, whether this is, I just don't see this being a big bounce here. So we'll see. We're going to see. We're going to see here very shortly. You know, I really wish I could make a much better call using the using this right here, but here's my frustration is on this chart right here on the Bitstamp chart. This has just got me, it just doesn't want to cross. I mean, this thing has been 3 days now. It doesn't want to freaking cross. It's just killing me. I mean, it had more than ample opportunity to cross as a golden cross. It's had more than ample opportunity to cross as a bearish cross. It is very frustrating right now. I'm very frustrated with this this particular situation. Let me show you something. I did have some of my charts I wanted to share with everybody. And let me hunt them down. Where are you? Nope. And here we go. All right. So what I did is I kind of went way back in time. And I pulled up a bunch of, here we go. All right, here we go. So what I did is I went way back in time and I pulled up a bunch of charts where we had a very similar price action, right? So to what we've got right now, let me blow this up like this. So what we've got taking place here is we actually have the white 30 MA coming up under the 50 MA, right? And I wanted to show this where this has happened back in time. So here you have the white 30 MA coming under the 7 MA. This is way up here in January-ish. January-ish, yep, there you go. So this is January. This is a pretty ugly death cross. And there is, look at all these death crosses that all kind of happened at the same time. So this was a lot more vicious for sure. Then you had it again. So here I hunted it down again as I went back in time. You had the death cross happen here. Now this was so this is July. So this gives me pause in my position to where is this stamp thing. This gives me pause to the trade that I'm in and the situation I'm in, because I look at this, you clearly had a beautiful death cross here, and then it got rejected just a little bit, and then this puppy just took off. Now, it didn't last, but this is a massive run here. This is no joke. This is a very massive run. And this run right here was substantial. I mean, it would have blown out any stop losses. This is just would have been a very trying time here in July. You know, there's July 6th, this massive dip. You've got, this is just a crazy time to trade, especially off of the MA. So this does have me worried. Just this one particular chart on the direction of this right here. I mean, listen, this is my concern. So it did rally then again, so it came back. The price dumped right back down. It just had no legs to keep it up there. This would have been a pretty simple trade. It did this massive shooting star candle, followed by a beautiful setup for a short trade on this spinning top, and I would have just shorted the living crud out of this thing all the way down. You then had the death cross. Look, 1, 2, 3 death crosses. So here you do have the 30 going underneath the 50, and this was a perfect trade setup and opportunity. So here was something that's interesting. So you had the golden cross, the death cross, but then it was followed immediately by a golden cross, right? So let's zoom in right here. So you had the death cross right here, and then you had a golden cross. So we are not in this situation right now. We do not have this same trade setup going for us. You know, this is where our 7 is here. Our 7 over here was below and did give us that golden cross, which would have been a great trade. You would have taken this golden cross and you would have scored. You know, but this is where we're at today. Let's see, I think I got one more. Here's another example. So once again, here's the golden cross. It immediately flipped to a bearish cross. So here we did have the bearish cross right here. Actually, this was a golden cross. So this, I'm sorry, this was a death cross. The price was below it. So it did knock the price down. The price then spiked up a little bit and then just didn't have any legs. You can see that the indicator back here called all these also. You called all these longs, beautiful long, beautiful long. So it did call a bunch of great calls on the indicator. And then here's the last one I have. The last one I tracked this way back down in 2016. And you have the white again coming under the orange. And now this is more of a setup that we have today. So we have the blue 7MA above us. We have the exact same setup right here with the white coming under. We have the orange on top. So we have a very similar setup, and they pinch together. This just comes down into a nice little pinching move, and then the whole thing tanks. So this is very similar to what we have today, and this is kind of what action I'm looking at right here today. This was super ugly. Jesus Lord. I mean, this dropped in hours. This is a 12-hour chart. This went from $430 to $350, which is a massive price action drop in 24 hours. Right? So I wanted just everybody to see kind of what I'm seeing and just kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at here. Pull my charts back over here. So that's kind of just, I just wanted to kind of put that out there, some of my thoughts and concerns and worries. My only really thing I just want to see, seriously, man, freaking close already, damn it. Just close. We are at this point, where are we at here? We are at 9 a.m. This 12-hour candle is going to close. And dude, seriously, I swear to God, I'll take the day off if this thing doesn't cross. I will just die laughing if this thing does not cross. Right? I don't know what I'll do if it goes another day without crossing. So we are closing this candle in 3 hours. 3 hours this candle closes, and right now for me it is 2 a.m. in the morning. I want you to know, why does crypto do this to me? Right? I need to get sleep. We are moving. We already started moving into the new house. This is just the absolute worst time ever. The worst. So, trying to be a vampire and take care of the moving stuff is really a drag. So, I'm just, 3 hours away. I need to set my alarm and just wake up in 3 hours and see what the hell happened. My luck, I'm gonna wake up, this thing is gonna shoot right through here, and I'm gonna cry like a baby. All right.